What's going on YouTube? You back here again with another video for you. Today's video, I'm going to tell you the reasons why you should buy the Camaro over the Mustang. So if you checked out the last video, I did a reason why you should buy the Mustang over the Camaro. This video is the opposite. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should buy the Camaro over the Mustang. So these cars have a huge rivalry. People in the comment sections are always going back and forth at each other. When I post the Camaro on Instagram, follow me on Instagram if you haven't. When I post something of the Camaro, people are like, oh, the GT350. I'm like, dude, this video has nothing to do with the GT350. GT350 is still here. It's a great car, different car, but I want this too. So there's that. Dichotomies, dualities, like I like both. Like I like Obi, rest in peace, and LeBron. Rivalries are good. There's no reason why you can't like two things. I like both of these. We got both of them. Here we are going over the two, so I can help you buy your Camaro or Mustang. So I've had 3 Mustangs and 2 Camaros in the past. So current situation right here. So before I ramble on anymore, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel. Let's jump into it. So the first reason you should buy a Camaro over the Mustang is the features. Yes, something that simple, features. So the simple things, little subtle things, like for me, the feature I love, one of my favorite features, 2 of them, I can get a sunroof on the Camaro, which you cannot get a sunroof at all on the Mustang. They haven't had a sunroof since like 2012 or 2013, which it had a whole glass roof. They haven't done anything like that since then. I can get red seat belts in here. I can get the heads-up display while I'm driving, and it really helps in this car because it's helps keep you focused on the speedometer. All that stuff, the tachometer is right in your face on the windshield, so you can keep focused on driving, which this thing is amazing to do. The Camaro, it came out after the Mustang, so it had like a year to sort itself out, and they took advantage of that. And still, the Mustang still hasn't really added these features yet. So the Camaro comes with more than the Mustang. Apples for apples, like the Camaro just has more features. The number 2 reason you should buy a Camaro over the Mustang, the Camaro has a better suspension. And I want to say this as a fact. So I've had the Camaro SS1 LE, now I have the ZL1. And I have the GT350, which is the track Mustang. So the Camaro just handles better. It remains more flat. This for that. Even the SS1 LE handles better than the GT350. The suspension is well sorted out. The Alpha chassis is a world-class chassis. Like it's like their 3rd or 4th generation of like having the magnetic ride control. This is Ford's first time. GM has like 4 or 5 releases of it now. So they've been doing it for quite some time. Ferrari used the same technology years ago, like with the 2nd gen Cadillac CTS-V. So they've been doing that for quite some time. They are solid in the game with that. And simple things like these both have very wide tires, like 305s. Can't remember which one has 305s up front, if any. But the GT350 tram lines a lot, and it's extreme. The Camaro doesn't do that at all. So, well, maybe a little bit, but it's definitely way more noticeable in the GT350 as opposed to the Camaro. And once you get on uneven pavement, the Camaro is still, it rides like a Cadillac in that regard. If you get over bumps, it is just smooth. And especially like in the turn, this is where the Mustang gets weird and goofy. And that's what I call it. Like if you're not on smooth pavement and you hit some turbulence in the pavement, or if you hit some uneven pavement in the Mustang, especially while turning, like the chassis doesn't know what it wants to do, and it needs to sort itself out for a while. They can improve on that. So that's the number 2 thing, the suspension and handling. better on the Camaro than the Mustang. So the number 3 reason to get a Camaro over the Mustang, Mustangs are very common. The Camaro is a lot less common these days, and there's a few reasons for that. When the Camaro came out, the 6th generation, it overtook the Mustang sales for a couple years, and then they messed it up. The 2019, I talk about this a lot, but GM, what were you doing with that grill, man? Like on the SS Camaros, that ruined it. And as the Mustang got better, just more and more, they kept refreshing it. Not to mention the Challengers, they kept refreshing it. Wide bodies, Scat Packs, Hellcats, Red Eyes, Demons. That's a whole other story. But for these twos, oh man, I went off on a tangent. Yeah, these are way less common. Especially these days, the sales are way low. Started with 2019 with they had to make an emergency refresh for 2020, and that's when I bought my other Camaro, the 2020. They fixed it. So I think this older, both of these cars look best in the pre-refresh grill. That's my opinion. Like, I like the older front end of the Mustangs and the older front end of the Camaro. Thank you for keeping that look, because these honestly look better. The 2018s and 2019s don't look as good. 2019, I hate the 2019 front end on the Camaro. If you have one, I don't know. Some people like it. I don't. I personally don't. But 2020, GM went on a strike. Plant shut down. And also in 2020, the current pandemic that we're still in, 2 years later, that happened. So a lot of production slowed down, but they weren't even finished recovering from the strike that they had. It was a strike. They weren't building these. So basically 2020, 2021, 2020, definitely 2022. It took me a long time to get this. The sales are just, they didn't build a lot. They couldn't build a lot. A lot of things happened. Mustangs kept cranking out, but they kind of left the Camaro. They didn't do too much to update it. So there's a few things that add on to that. But the Camaro is way less common. If you don't want to be seen, especially like the people that drive, no offense to them, but the Mopars, they're so common. And in Detroit here, I see more, this honest to God true, I see more Mopars than Altimas and Camrys, RAV4s, Nissan Rogues, and these are top selling cars. You see way more Chargers and Challengers around here. They're hot, man. But the Camaro, I feel like in the future it'll be more special because there wasn't that many of them, especially like the SS1 Elite. Those were quite limited, so it wasn't a lot of those built either. So way less common. Like to feel exclusive, definitely. I don't see a whole lot of other Camaro drivers when I'm out. So there's that. So the 4th reason to buy a Camaro over the Mustang, I personally like the way the Camaro is designed more so than the Mustang. This is my favorite iteration of this Mustang. Looks fantastic. This is my 2nd favorite iteration of the Camaro. Looks better than this to me, in my opinion. But the design of the Camaro, they took it a step further. Like they used some innovation on the interior with the like the heat vents. That is controlled by a big knob over the vent. You just turn it to increase your temperature. And if you have a 1SS on the right side, it increases your fan speed. But if you have dual climate control like I do on here, both control the temperature, and there's a button in the middle to increase the fan speed. I like the way they designed got red seat belts. I mentioned that earlier. The features, they work well with the design because the visibility is lower in here, but they added things to help with the design. They added the heads-up display, and GM, the reason why the visibility is bad, I think is okay. Once you get used to it, set your mirrors. I got a video on that. So it's the way it is because they designed the car from the outside going in. So they got to do all these hard lines, which the concept looked amazing, and this car looks close to the concept of the 6th generation Camaro. So this car was designed from the outside going in, and on the inside they use some futuristic things too. So I prefer the design of this. It is less practical than that of the Mustang, but it's I just like it. And the final reason to buy a Camaro as opposed to the Mustang, the Camaro feels faster. And I'm talking about in V8 form. And also the 60, I think the ZL1 is faster than the GT500 too. But the reason that the Camaro feels faster and is faster up to that point is because it has more torque. Like I mentioned in the Mustang video, the Mustang revs, so you have to wind it out to get more power. The Camaro, the power, 2,000 RPM, like you're pinned to the cushion. Like, it just has torque way down low, especially in this. I got 650 pound-feet of torque on here, 429 pound-feet of torque on here, so that is a huge difference. Even on the SS, I got more torque on. I had more torque on that. It had like 455 pound-feet of torque, so you definitely feel it. Just the way that the power comes on. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. You decide. If you like torque, buy a Camaro. If you like revving up, buy a Mustang. I'm just here since I have both to help you decide which one is best for you. These are the things that stand out for me. So if you have anything down in the comments or any question you want to ask me, go ahead. I'll respond to all my comments. Either way, you come out a winner. And even with the Challenger, but I don't have one of those. Had one in the past. Go check out those videos. It was a short experience of I had a plum crazy narrow body Hellcat. I like that car too. I don't like it as much as these two because I prefer the handling that these offer. But it was a great car too. But these two, these are my top dogs that I would prefer to own. And I do. So, like I said, let me know in the comments down below any questions you have. If you want to know about the Challenger too. So I've had 3 Mustangs, 2 Camaros, Challenger Hellcat, and I had my wife, she had a RT Charger back in the day when the Scat Pack would have been the top dog with the SRT, and then the Hellcats came out. So we had the one above the top dog. It was an all-wheel drive. You could have got a RC with all-wheel drive back in the day, but that was a few years ago. So any question, if you want to compare the 3, ask me down below. So I get a lot of questions, a lot asking which one people should get. I'm just laying out for me, my experience. Some facts in there too, personal opinion in there as well. You decide. You can't lose with either one. And somebody will probably bring to memory that this broke down the day that I bought it. And hey, my baby's waving at me. And if you watch my older video, you will know that this had a couple issues too. So they're generally reliable. If you want a reliable Mustang, don't get this one. It has more things to sort out than the GT. The Coyote is tried and true. It's a more reliable power plant than this. That's the reasons why you should buy the Camaro over the Mustang. So I'm gonna end that video right here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, watch the channel, share. I just gave y'all a bunch of tasks. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.